Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Doctor Why podcast. It's a Doctor Who after show where me and Chris review the episode of Doctor Who. I'm them, also known as Bam, and I've got Chris, also known as the Angry Pacific, here with me today. As always, it's another week, and it's another episode of this podcast where we, as I said, review the Doctor Who episode, Chapter 2. Can you tell me the name of the episode? Because I always forget the names.
War of the Sontarans.
War on the Sontarans?
Yeah.
That's on the nose.
Yeah. Now we know what happens in it. It's a bit on the nose.
Yeah, it is. It literally is War on the Sontarans. It's just that's just what it is. We are going to get right into it. By just starting off, Chris, because I didn't actually. We did notes differently because we're also playing a video game at the same time. So
I wasn't playing the game. You were.
But I wrote my notes differently. I normally write my notes describing the scene and then what I think about the scenes. But I didn't describe the scenes because I just have these bits of paper that I wrote on, which just it's just gobbledygook. It looks like Gallifreyan. It's crazy. So. Chris?
Yeah, I hated this episode so much that I had to stop writing. So I don't even have that much. I have like 10 minutes.
I don't. Okay, so this will be not as structured as last time, but it will also be good. We're trying to. I don't know. This episode was something. So I'm going to start with how the episode started. So they started with a previously on Doctor Who. This did a rundown of the last episode. It told us the key points about the flux.
It was a really bad previously.
About the Carvanista. No, that's not the race. They're called the Lupari. He's called Carvanista.
Yeah, Lupari, but he's Carvanista.
We do now know the names of them. The two people. I didn't remember their names last time, but it's Swarm and AZURE. The establishing of them and the fact that the TARDIS is leaking. The TARDIS has got some gooey goo happening. Then they went for this kind of like black and white film look thing with like a house in the woods. So I don't know
the house looked cool, but the black and white looked so bad.
The reason that the black and white looked bad is because they were going for like an old school film look, so they added a shit ton of grain on top of it.
Yeah. And
because I think you were watching it on iPlayer, I don't know, I was. The bitrate just destroyed itself. It looked like 4 pixels because of the fucking what's it called? The grain.
Even so, like that whole thing, it was just like black and white effect, add gain. That's all they did. They make it actually look like something old.
Black and white effect, add gain. Yeah.
That's probably what they did. They just went into Premiere Pro and just put them in.
Add gain. And noise 100%, 200%.
Yeah. The first thing was just like exposition of like the previous episode.
Yeah. So what happens is they wake up on a battlefield and they're all like, "Oh my god, we were just in the TARDIS, right? With the flux coming. Yeah, we just saw the previously too. We know that happened. You don't need to tell me that again. But we just saw the flux coming. What happened, Doctor? We already know that these guys saw the flux coming towards them because that was the literal cliffhanger of the last episode. But we're going to get no real explanation as to why they survived, other than the fact that the flux is messing with time.
Yeah. So
the flux that we saw all last episode eat people, just devour, just suck in everything. Somehow didn't suck in the Doctor, Yaz, Dan, what's his name, Vinder. Like, just didn't do anything to them. No, because these random... What are they called? The race. What are this race?
Because Chibnall is God in his own universe, and he decides what happens.
What is the race... What is the race that the triangle things talked about? Anthropos?
Oh. Weren't they crystals?
No, but like they're talking about like the Anthropos control the flow of time, even though that's like the Time Lord's job. But like the Anthropos control the flow of time, and like the idea was, I'm assuming the Anthropos are dead, so the flux is somehow to do with them, and it's put the Doctor, Yaz, and all these people back in. No, that doesn't even make sense because they didn't even interfere till this point. They interfered after when they were starting to fade away. You know, because you know the bait and switch. They had this is later on in the same scene. They talk about the fact that what we did, so on and so forth, and then they establish that like they survived, right? And they don't know how they survived. So I wrote, so the lads jumped back in time to the Crimean War after being hit by the flux. Instead of Russians, it's Sontarans. They reveal that because they meet. Who do they meet, Chris?
The Sontarans.
No. They meet Mary Seacole.
No. They meet Mary Seacole. I hate how they kept calling her Mary Seacole, like not Mary.
It's like Drax, the guy made by Dave Bautista. The guy not made by, but the guy who plays by Dave Bautista. He always calls Peter Quill by like his full name. Instead of calling hey Peter, he goes hey Peter Quill. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
you're an idiot, Peter Quill. Like they keep going. Yeah, Mary Seacole. How are you doing today, Mary Seacole? You good, Mary Seacole? We're having a lot of fun, Mary Seacole. Oh my god, Mary Seacole. You fought like you helped the Sontaran, Mary Seacole. We get it. It's Mary Seacole.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's another thing.
Always Mary Seacole. Like, why? Like, she did a brilliant job. Don't get me wrong. But like, out of everyone in history who has done a brilliant job at anything, why do we always hear about her and like a certain few other people?
Well, that is true. History, they only talk about the people they want. It's always Mary Seacole. It's always, what's it, Nightingale? No, what's her name?
Nightingale. But no, even Nightingale has lost it now.
Like, and then it's
lost it to Seacole.
Well, because obviously, because when you're talking about it in history, you're talking about like the fact that like, oh, Nightingale was always talked about because she's white, and Mary Seacole did pretty much the exact same thing as Nightingale did and never got a recognition. But now she's got the recognition, and they just always talk about
the other way around.
It is what it is. It's them trying to repair history because history's been taught very white. So they're like, we're going to try to repair history. But it was
at this point where I said, in caps, I can't watch this. Let me turn it off.
So yeah, they reveal that they're on a Crimean War battlefield, and Mary Seacole's there. The Doctor's like, I know who you are. You're Mary Seacole. So this must be the Crimean War. And then she goes, okay, Russians? No, we're not fighting Russians. We're fighting Sontarans. And that's when the Doctor's like, oh, wait, if you're fighting Sontarans, that means history must change. And that's when Dan starts fading out a bit. Dan starts fading out. He starts just ashes. It's not even ashes. It's like a different effect. He's like, the Doctor describes it as
like blue. They just like start turning blue and disappearing.
Yeah, the Doctor describes it as flux energy mixed with time. Like what's the word? The time travel energy. I forget what it's called.
Basically, like in Back to the Future, when like Marty starts to fade away, while he's playing Earth Angel.
Yeah. And then they make you think that this is because the timelines changed, right? But no. We cut to Vinder, who is on the floor in a random location. Somehow he's also alive. Apparently the flux just can't kill the main character.
Yeah, there were these really harsh cuts as we were like establishing Vinder, in like what he'd seen. It was really harsh cuts.
Just because they were trying to remind you, Vinder nearly died. Yeah, I know. I watched the last episode. It was in the episode previously on. You don't need to have intercut that as well. I know that Vinder should have been dead, and now he's not.
You don't have a previously or have all of this catch up, one or the other.
Either put it in the episode.
Long. You've added 10 minutes to this episode. Cut something out.
So yeah, they describe that Vinder is. I wrote in my script, and not my script, in my notes. Vinder is somehow still alive. Weird. Everyone in contact with the dangerous flux is alive. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
The flux that can change matter just violently. Somehow they survived. I hope that they established this, because they didn't establish anything really new this episode. They teased that new stuff and they didn't tell us. We have 4 episodes left. Come on, Chipmunk. Let me just relax. Let me relax. Before I get
everything's going to be resolved in like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Doctor's gonna do an info dump. Like, oh, I understand.
Oh,
now.
I know what's going on now. I just got to wave my Sonic and everything's done.
The Sonic has told me, and then Chibnall exposition. Somehow Jodie knows everything because Jodie's Doctor knows everything because the script needs her to know everything at this point. Just okay. Okay, so yeah, that happens.
Oh goodness me, is Chibnall the flux? Is Chibnall the Flux? Because the Flux can change everything in the universe, and that's what Chibnall's been doing.
It's like Thanos. It's just Chibnall comes out of the Flux with a gauntlet, and Chibnall's like, "I'll do it myself." It's just like, "Oh no, Chibnall, no, please, Chibnall." Chibnall's like, and then we get the specials, and the specials just Jodie. Like, you know how it's like, who's in charge of the what's the thing, the
Vision.
Yeah, who's in charge of the Vision? It's just Chibnall.
Oh, it's just the Covenants now, isn't it?
No. He's the only one who was that and is still alive, other than the Doctor. So the only member who was part of that who's still alive. Everyone else who was a part of that's dead, apparently. I don't know. That's who the Doctor was chasing after, and that's why she was chasing after him. We did rewatch last episode.
You did. I forgot to.
I did, so I know a little bit. A little bit more makes sense. Just how
I saw a few reviews and people picked up different things.
So we move on next. We find out that. Oh no! So yeah, this is where I wrote Dan and Yaz disappear because of history changing. Then I ripped it out and I went because of the Sontarans. Ripped it out and I went the Flux. But I did write that the one thing that really annoyed me is that as Yaz and Dan are fading away, I wrote somehow the Doctor knows it's them falling through space and time.
Yeah, how would the Doctor know that?
How did the Doctor know that exactly? Like, even if they had the sonic screwdriver told me, like, they're not something. Like they're not in they're in 4 different time zones at the same time. They're falling through space and time, something like that. Okay, that's how you know. No, the Doctor just went, they're falling through space and time. I was like, how do you know that? Just how?
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. To be fair.
It annoyed me. But then yes, we go to I think first it was Yaz. No, first it was Dan. Dan is teleported back to Liverpool. But then we see that Sontarans are on the streets of Liverpool and they chase after Dan.
Yeah, he's there with his mum and dad.
Yeah, you get a reveal of Dan's mum and dad.
Around the corner.
Which is also weird. Why was Dan sent back to Liverpool, but Yaz was sent to this new building? Why wasn't Yaz sent back home?
Yeah. I mean, it's not said, but maybe it's because she's like the known companion of the Doctor, and they wanted the Doctor there.
No, you know what? For some, that's actually a good answer. But
it should have been established.
Yeah, it should have been obvious. But that makes sense. If it was like, they could have had like what's the thing that they talk about, like the time energy thing that was always around time travelers. That they've established when David Tennant had to wear the 3D glasses to see them.
That stuff. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
He's like singing what is it, Doomsday? It's like
yeah. If they were like, we detected that you had that around you, so we brought you here. That could have been a cool explanation. I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. Yeah. Dan should transport back to Liverpool. There's sometimes on the street, and they're like, chase after him! And then we find Dan goes after Misa Hitanabu. Dan, sorry.
No care about the Nabu. You're in the Nabu for my symbiont sake.
Sorry, that was a tangent. But yeah, Dan's chased after. I also missed the part where he finds his pan, so you're gonna have to tell me when that happens because I don't even know this. Because I was looking at my sheet. I was like, I don't know what I'm writing here anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, then we got to Yaz, and she's in the same place that Vinda is, but we see the old dude from the Liverpool episode ages ago.
He didn't come back. I thought he was going to come back again later in the episode.
He comes back. I don't even know what they were talking about. They were talking about something.
No. It was literally just like, Yaz like, who are you? And he's like, who are you? And then Yaz like realizes, he's not from the same time period as me. I need to check like where he's from. And that was really it.
What would the Doctor do?
Yeah, and what would the I was crying.
But yeah, that scene honestly didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. I don't need. I've no interest in this dude. I don't know. Apparently, he is a real figure. You told me this before.
Yeah. Apparently, he was like doing some minings in some tunnels under Liverpool, like some tunnels that exist for seemingly no reason.
So yeah, he's just a historical figure they're using. I have no interest in him or his storyline. I don't know what it's meant to be leading to. I honestly think his storyline is not needed in this. If they remove this completely,
yeah, probably. I mean, we say that if it suddenly in the info dump in the last 15 minutes of episode 6, it becomes important, then maybe. But
I wrote at this point, the music is better. Like it's not Murray Gold.
No, it's not.
But it's not Series 11.
No, yeah. I completely agree.
It's
I did think it sounded a bit too much like John Williams at points, like taking from him. Like I kept hearing throughout the episode the first 3 notes of the Imperial March from Star Wars.
Yeah, that was like when the bad guys came up. It's like, oh my God.
And then there was like a gap, and then the 4th note. Wow. And then that was it, like dun 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 dun, but a gap between the 3rd and 4th. You wouldn't notice.
I also wrote at this time the Flux rewriting time ? Because it was still doing a setup of the episode, so I was like, "Is the Flux rewriting time?" I'm confused. Then I think because this is where I stopped writing what scenes is happening. I just wrote my opinions. I think next is when we see the Sontarans.
What, say again?
I think next is when we see the Sontarans.
No. We first see the Sontarans a bit before, because I remember I wrote Sontarans are playing Red Dead as they're on the horses. The Sontarans don't look nearly as good as they did in the previous episode, which is really weird.
I think it's because we see them move more. Shankara.
Yeah.
And the lighting is like it's not hiding their face as much as it did. So I feel like that's why it's
yeah.
I've currently got iPad up to see what scene's next.
I think the next scene was when they're in the tent.
Yes, they're in
the British hotel.
Yeah, they're in the hotel. Yeah, that's literally the next scene. Yeah.
And they're saying like there's no Russia, no China, it's just Sontar.
Yeah, showing that. I like that. I think that was pretty cool. I like the idea they just called it Sontar. I'm just like, this is
that was funny.
Sontar.
That was funny. But my issue was that is that actually there is a growing conspiracy theory that there was actually a country like in that exact place replacing Russia and China. The theory goes is that like the history books have like been rewritten to make to like downplay to just pretend it was just like a region instead of a country. The Sontarans are kind of fascist because they're just like warmongers, and like I was just thinking like if they are going for this conspiracy where like the history books have said like they're worse than they actually were, then the Sontarans would be the exact race that they would do it with. So, yeah.
Actually, not bad. But I don't know if that was purposeful. Who knows? But yeah,
Chibnall does.
Chibnall does. He wrote it. Did he write this episode?
He's writing all of them. He's written all of them.
Oh no guest writers? Crazy.
Well, there's one guest writer. He co-wrote one of them with the woman who wrote Validia Dassi.
Oh, that's my favorite episode of like. So I'm excited.
Yeah, but her and Chibnall together, is that going to be a good mix?
Chibnall's just big braining. It's like, no, we're doing it my way. It's like, oh god. So yeah, we see this is the scene where we have the Doctor talk to our token. I'm gonna be annoying and fuck up the plans of the Doctor. I'm going to be this version of Harriet Jones, right? We talk to the British general. I don't know his name because I don't care. We talk to him.
That was part of my issue with Mary Seacole. They kept like bigging Mary Seacole up, but just completely destroying this war general guy. It's like at least have him be like an alternate. Like what's the word? You have like 3 types of villains. There's like one which is like a psychopath, one that's a sociopath, and one who has an alternative viewpoint. At least make him an alternative viewpoint where he thinks he's doing good, but he's not.
It's not even just that. Like I don't hate the bigging up of Mary Seacole because I think that's cool. But the thing that I think this is what to kind of go on in your point, and I think this is maybe where you and I agree with the Mary Seacole thing, is the fact that like she's a caricature of a character. She doesn't seem like an actual person. Like she's
she's written to be like it's like in those old Russell episodes where it's like, oh, I'm meeting Charles Dickens. It's like, you know, it's like the whole point of the episode is that it's a very sort of over the top take of a historical figure, but now it's in a serious setting.
And like it's the same thing with William Shakespeare. I like the fact that William Shakespeare was a drunk, a bit of an asshole at times, but a fantastic writer. I know, like that's what he put all of his stuff into. I was like, that's cool. But it's like this, like I don't know, you can't just be like Mary Seacole's like you can't have Mary Seacole say "fuck you, doctor." Like you can't do that. I know you can't do that, but it's like
make her feel real.
She's never annoyed at the doctor, really.
Yeah,
like the doctor does a lot.
Or general.
The doctor does a lot of annoying things all the time. And no one's ever annoyed at the doctor. Not even yet. Like, Yaz is a bit, but Yaz just goes, I'm going to deal with it. Like, no one's ever annoyed at her. Like, she just, like the general guy, yeah, he's annoyed at her. She comes in, takes control of his unit, and he's like, can you tell me who you are? This will be a perfect moment for the psychic paper to return, because that would have just, that would have been simple. It's like, this is who I am. And he goes, okay. And then the story could have been like, even though she's on the paper, his superior, he doesn't think she's right, and that's where his alternative point of view comes into mind. That could have made him a deeper character, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's, who are you? I'm the general. You're just a woman. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, this scene is establishing that Sontarans have taken over Russia, and history's changed. That it's now.
Oh, what is it now? The Great Wall of Sontar.
And history's changed now. It's Sontar. But the funny thing is that was already established when Mary Seacole earlier in the episode said, "We're not fighting the Russians, we're fighting Sontarans." So that scene is also a scene which was only to establish the one guy, and it really wasn't needed. But then we do meet that we do find out that Mary Seacole was treating a Sontaran, which is the same actor who plays Strax. And
this makes me think, why can't it just be Strax?
That would have been cool. Doctor, it's me, Strax. It's like, oh, Strax, you're back.
Like imagine if it was just like literally him in like the separate armor, and he's just like this man. Like obviously he gets the genders wrong all the time. This man has been trying to treat me on my ailments, but I heal myself.
It's like, because they wanted to, because I know why they did it. They wanted to establish the idea that the Sontarans don't like failure, and if you fail, you're dead. But you acting. The thing is, this is series 13 of Doctor Who. I don't feel you need to tell me again that Sontarans do not like failure. When the literal Sontaran goes, failure is disgusting. And the doctor says, and I quote, well, not and I quote, but the doctor says that the biggest failure, the ultimate shame is defeat. No, the ultimate shame is capture. And I'm like, no, that's wrong. The ultimate failure on the Sontaran is defeat. Losing is the ultimate failure. Being captured is just another failure. It is a big failure, but it's not the ultimate. Like, if you fail at your mission, you're not a Sontaran anymore. And that was established in Sarah Jane Adventures. When that one Sontaran who fell to Earth was like, I failed. I'm a coward. I need to come back with something, or I'm not a Sontaran anymore. Yeah,
like the thing is, the people who ran the Sarah Jane Adventures understood Doctor Who better than Chibnall. And where are they now? Like, where's Phil Ford at this point?
Where's Russell T Davies? He's writing the biggest.
Oh, he's returning.
Yeah, he is returning. Yeah. I see that.
Oh, 2 more years, eh?
I hope Russell.
Apparently, he's not actually returning until the 60th itself. He's not writing a Christmas special or anything.
No, he's not. That's the episode he's returning on.
Yeah.
I hope we bring back the like yearly Doctor Who. I hate having a year break in between.
Oh, I need yearly Doctor Who. 13 episodes and a Christmas special is what I need.
Okay, so we move on after all of that stuff's been established. Mary Seacole frees the Sontaran because the Sontaran is cured, but also the Doctor wants the Sontaran to go back, and
then the general guy is like, "Why did you let him go?"
And the Doctor just establishes because, and it's like, it's just them again showing general guys not nice. It's like I get it. And then we have like a close up of the general guy getting angry at the Doctor. The Doctor did something that he didn't want it to happen, and then we cut.
Sorry, that's something I hate. I hate the look that the Doctor has, like with Jodie, where like someone where she's trying to stand up to someone, and she pulls this like what's supposed to be a really serious face, and it just looks like I don't know why people cave to that face.
It looks like she's reading the script off screen. She's like,
yeah.
Okay, this is She's like, so like the scenes because I call it like this. I was like, that's the closest thing to later on's the closest thing that to Jodie having her Doctor moment, as I call it, which she still hasn't had, but the closest thing I would say to a Doctor moment since the time where she was like, this group is a flat structure. Those are the only two times where she's had a near Doctor moment. But yeah, then we cut to Mary Seacole and the Doctor. They have what's it called? They have gone back to the battlefield, following the Sontaran as he goes back to his people. Right? The Sontarans go back to his people. Mary Seacole and the Doctor are following them. Oh no, him, and they see that it's like, how do you say, camouflage. That's it. It's camouflage. Their whole unit is camouflaged behind like a big wall, that looks like stone. It's camouflage. That the whole unit is behind that, which makes me think, why do they do that? They could just be in space. They have teleportation.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the idea of like,
we just need, the audience needed to see what they were doing, so it had to be on Earth. It's at that point where you got to rewrite the whole episode.
Yeah, because it's like when they were talking back inside, and it was like, oh, we don't know where their base of operations from because they just come out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, because they teleport. That makes sense. But no, it's the fact that like they're hiding. Why are Sontarans hiding? They're Sontarans. They will teleport, kill you, teleport back up because they need to recharge. But why are they on Earth? Do we even know what their plan on Earth was?
No.
Why are they there? All we know is that they're using the flux for something. For the master plan or something. But what is it? What is it?
Oh, why is Juvenile so dumb?
I don't know what it is. But yeah, we see Strax, I'm going to call him Strax because he is literally Strax, come back and it's like, the Sontaran's like, you failed, you're not a Sontaran. It's like, you're not a Sontaran, I hate you. And he's like, no, but sir, please, I have information. The Doctor's here. And he goes, the Doctor. Oh,
the Doctor.
You did well, and I'm going to show you mercy by killing you.
Oh yeah,
and kills him.
It's dumb.
It was dumb. But yeah, the Sontaran general, which I think is also the same general from the old episodes as well.
Is it?
I think it is. He has a similar face. Yeah.
Wow.
He might be. I'll have to check that, but he looks similar.
But that's an issue though, because if all the characters if all the Sontarans sound the same, but they're wearing completely different armor.
But then they are a clone race, Chris. So it does make sense that they all look the same.
Yeah, but they're not all exactly the same.
They're a clone race.
Yeah, but they're not like there are small differences between all of them.
Yeah, because I'm guessing like they cloned it for like not like one person, but cloned it for like multiple different I'm guessing very like slightly different versions. It's like a clone of you, a clone of a sibling, a clone of another sibling. They all look the same, and they make an whole army out of these 3 people.
Right.
That's how I'm assuming. But yeah, he kills the Sontaran dude, and they move on. And this is when we cut back to Liverpool. South. This is where they're talking about the fact that the sky eclipsed all around the world, which was the Luparians covering the Earth.
It started in Liverpool 6 hours before.
The Luparians covering the Earth. And then it's Dan and his parents. Their parents think he's going crazy because he's talking about spaceships and planetary stuff. And then
He's going to be crazy, to be fair.
Then this is where I stopped looking for a bit. I was looking at my sheet, and I think this is where they find the like Sontaran base that is on Earth. In
they go to the docks.
They go to the docks. They find it there. They find the stuff there, and this is where Dan's dad, I think, gives Dan the pan. The wok? Yeah, so Dad's
What is it with Chibnall and like kitchen equipment? And she had Ryan's dad with the microwave.
Dad's on kitchen equipment, bro. Ryan's dad with the electric cooker, the electric microwave. Dan's dad with the fucking wok. It's Chibnall's like, Chibnall, is your dad a cook, Chibnall? Is that the joke?
Probably.
Is your dad a cook? Because Dan's dad gives Dan the pan. I don't know why he gives Dan the pan, but he gives Dan the pan. And then we come back. No,
I mean, it was quite clever that they did do that, because we know already, right? We know already that Sontarans do have that weak spot, and I thought that was a very clever way of doing it. And actually, it reminded me of that scene in The Song on Earth where like Wilf is telling, I think he's telling Sylvia,
to shoot him in the eye.
Aim for the eye.
Yeah, because it's established earlier on. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
that's good. That is when I'm like, that's the stuff that I feel like is missing in Chibnall episodes. Instead of just going, you guys know this, right? That there's stuff in the back of the neck, and we can show you that's a weakness by them just hitting them in the back of the neck. But we're gonna spend 20 minutes telling you the probic vent in the back of a Sontaran's neck is its weak spot. I don't need to hear this. I've watched Doctor Who since I was 5, right? I don't need to hear this. I'm a 20-year-old man. I've watched this for 15 years. That's a career, dude. Like, I've watched Doctor Who as a career. Like, I don't need to hear about something. Like, if it's a new villains, I get it, because you're establishing a new villain.
Yeah, you've got to establish them, yeah.
Like
returning from classically.
A prime example is the last episode when the Weeping Angel was there. They didn't have to tell us, don't blink. No. She just went, okay, I can't blink here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really well done. And
that's it.
They were last seen before. Oh no, then technically there was a Weeping Angel in Hellbent. But I was gonna say, like, Angels Take Manhattan was 2012.
There was a weeping angel in the New Year's episode in the prison with the Doctor.
Oh really?
Yes. There was a weeping angel and there's a silence there. They were both there. Yeah, they were prisoners. Because there was a joke where the Doctor walked past and goes, "Oh, I forgot you were here," to the silence, because the silence removed their memory. And then and then there's the weeping angel in the cell next to the Doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan's dad hands Dan the pan, and Dan's like, "I'm gonna go and see what happens." Then we cut to back to the little weird room, and this is where they dump a lot of exposition to us. What's her name? Yaz meets Vinda, and the triangle finger's asking, "Can you fix or can you repair?" Or whatever the actual line is. Can you fix? Can you repair? Whatever this thing is. They have no idea what they need to repair is, who these people are asking them. But there's something.
Spend the entire scene trying to get this crystal to like explain to them, like complete idiots, what they need to repair. And that was just so stupid that they couldn't just say outright.
So this is where Yaz is basically doing her what would the Doctor do, you know. She's like, I need to find out what's going on here, who these people are. She found that Vinder's actually kind of a nice dude. His hair looks weird. Like it feels like a video game haircut to me, where like it doesn't go down, it can't hit the face because it's a video game. Yeah. Like that's what it feels like to me. But yeah,
maybe they're preparing for a video game with Vinder in it.
No, because the last video game they released is broken. Do you know, like, have you heard the reviews? Yeah. So yeah, they shouldn't release another video game. But yeah, Vinder, they talk each other. They find out who each other are, and it's them finding out what they're brought there for, and they're brought there to fix something. These statues, I think they're statues or they're people.
Yeah,
because later on they were
connected to the Doctor somehow.
They were connected to time, but not the Doctor.
Yeah, they were connected to time. Yeah,
and I think they're like. So you haven't seen Loki, Chris? But
no, I haven't.
Anyone who has seen Loki, spoilers now. The spoilers for Loki. But anyone who has seen Loki knows about He Who Remains, also known as Kang. Is basically a man outside of time watching the flow of time in a circle. He's basically the guy who keeps time from branching into infinite parallel universes. So the thing is, I feel like this cult, I was gonna say cult of Scarrow, but this group of people are like a group of Kangs. They're there to make sure the time flowed correctly. Time didn't go into chaos. I'm assuming after the Time Lords were gone, they were there to protect the timeline. Because without the Time Lords, time would have spread out into infinite realities and infinite blah 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 blah. So they're the ones to make sure it's fine. But some of them are damaged, injured, not dead, but like damaged or hurt. And it was their job to make sure this is okay. And they're asking, can you fix or can you help us fix these people? So it feels like these people who are there are in need of help. They're like phasing. And I'm thinking as you're into the flow, I don't really understand. And I really don't really understand because it's not like they're trying to keep it secret, but it's not. The threads don't seem to be clicking or weaving together in a way that they should do, and it's just I don't think it's a good thing. They established that whole thing to establish the fact that like time is breaking. They established that, and then we come back to Dan taking footage of Sontarans as they kill a bunch of just random Earthlings. The Sontarans just kill some random Earth people, just gun them down like they're like the Nazis would shoot the people that they captured, just gun them down. That's what the Sontarans do, and Dan recorded it, and Dan's like, oh my god, that's awful. And then we again cut back to the Doctor sending out the peace treaty thing with her sonic screwdriver. Yeah, the parlay. And this is where we get the scene where I say this is the closest thing to Jodie's Doctor moment so far. Is where she's talking with the Sontaran. And Sontaran's like, well, lady, can you bring the Doctor here? And she goes, heh, I'm the Doctor. And it goes, whoa, the Doctor's a woman? Crazy. The thing I do like is that they bring up the fact that the Doctor was president of Gallifrey.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that the Sontarans feel like there's a good thing that people understand that the Sontarans are scared. Like they're literally like, oh shit, the Doctor. Okay, this is serious now, and I like that. That's good. I like that's a thing. The Sontarans like.
It's one of the kind of things you'd forget about a warrior race, that they can get scared. Like, just because they're going to fight anyway doesn't mean they don't get scared.
Yeah. And and also Jodie's hair's curly here, and I like it. I keep saying her hair should have been like that since the beginning. I don't know why they keep straightening her hair. It looks awful when it's straightened. Curly, she looks like she's actually like been through shit. It's awesome. But yeah, the doctor basically is like, I'm a doctor, ha ha ha, blah 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 blah, and Jesus Christ, my mouse just died, and that's really annoying. But yeah, the Sontaran then is like, well, we're gonna do whatever we want. The doctor's like, well, you can't because I'm protecting Earth. And guess who returns? The dickhead general dude. He points a gun to the back of the doctor's head and goes, no, the British are in charge here. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. Idiot. Again, is them bringing back the whole, we need an idiot to sorry, I've just choked up. Oh my god. We need an idiot to make the plot go forward. This is when we then not cunt, Jesus Christ. This is when we cut to the war. There's a battlefield. On the battlefield, they're fighting, and it's not so good CGI battle. Because obviously they can't get that many people because of COVID. But you see, the units are definitely CGI.
You see the whole army.
Yeah, they're definitely CGI in the way they walk. They could have hidden it a bit with like a shadow depth of field, but it didn't. So it's very obvious. And the Sontarans just annihilate them.
But what I liked was that the British army were all real people.
Yeah. The doctor is walking with one of the guys who's trying to transport the doctor back. She nerve pinches him. Well, lucky guy, he gets to live. Because he didn't die on the battlefield. And then the doctor runs to go find Mary Seacole. Then we cut back to Dan infiltrating with a pan. Dan's infiltrating with a pan. He's sneaking about around. He's sneaking everywhere. He's sneaking about. Sneaky. So he gets on the ship. Nothing to really say there. Then we cut again. And just like magic, we are here with Swarm and AZURE. And they are in the place that Vinder...
Linda?
No, Vinder. Not Linda.
Okay.
Vinder and Yaz are.
Yeah.
They introduce themselves. They basically show that they understand time. And this is a very interesting quote that's said at this moment. Is the fact that Yaz, the Swarm comes up to Yaz and is like, Yasmin Khan, I know all about you. I know that you have what would the doctor do on your hand. Yaz, you're so predictable. You're so predictable. Where's the doctor, Yaz? The doctor isn't here, Yaz. The doctor doesn't help you, Yaz. Yaz. And then Yaz is like, how do you know this? And he goes, it must be really awful to see time in a linear fashion. So this is establishing that Swarm and...
It's sort of outside of time.
Yeah, they see time. It's like they see all of time.
It's like if time is happening all at once, and we see it in a certain order, but like other people can like dip in and out.
Yeah, because they see it all at once, or like a circle, which is again where
Sorry, because I've been thinking about that with like Star Wars recently. It's like the Jedi. They like the Jedi say, keep your concentration here and now. Don't look at the future. It's sort of like that kind of thing. That you can, like, you look at the future, but then you focus on the present when you are in the present.
But yeah, established that these guys are out of time, which again makes me start to think that these guys are Time Lords or something adjacent. Which is going back to my theory that I think these are the Doctor's parents. I think Chibnall will actually do that. It seems like a Chibnall thing to do, but we will see. So yeah, AZURE and
why does the Doctor look like them? Is the question.
Well, maybe because you know how like the Master used to be able to like take bodies. Maybe they're doing the same thing because they literally are, and that's why they look.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
why they look all fucked up. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
AZURE and Swarm want the Anthrops thing. They said started before and once again. So something's happened in the past. I'm assuming before William Hartnell Doctor. So like pre that era. Between the Doctor and these guys, where something's happened and they want to do it again. And it needs this Anthropos thing. So the question now is, this happened before, and what is the thing that's going to happen again? But then we cut to Dan in the Sontaran ship. Dan is in a Sontaran ship and he's just touching things. The Doctor's also in a Sontaran ship with Mary Seacole touching things, and they apparently connect communications. And this is where
wasn't that the scene where he's like sent to the Sontarans? Like he bumps into a Sontaran and it's like, oh, I'm looking for this wherever it was. I'm looking for this place. And I got lost.
Yeah, I'm looking for you. No, your leader. I said he can help me. Look, he's just here, and he turns around and he backs it in the back of the head. It's like, wow, Sontarans are so smart.
Again, even though there's clearly a Sontaran already on the floor.
Yeah, 4 of them come in and goes, no, I'm just a tour guide. And it's like, oh my god, just taking a tour. But yeah, they connect. This is where I wrote down #Chibnall comedy, where the Doctor and Dan are talking at the same time, and apparently that's funny. I don't think it's funny. I just think it's.
And then at the end of the exchange, they're both like, "You go first," and then the Doctor starts speaking. Like, when did you establish the Doctor was actually going to speak first? Like, wouldn't they just continue speaking at the same time?
This is when my notes just went crazy, because the Doctor. This is when I was like, "This is bad." This is where I was like, "This is when I was like, the episode's not that good anymore." That's why I just stopped liking it, because there was a joke that he did. And I was like, this is the most overused joke all the time, and I hate it because it's not funny. It's just, wow, people have nudes on their phone. It's like, wow, that's a funny joke. The Doctor's scanning, because Dan's like, I'm gonna give you my footage, and the Doctor's like, okay, just put it up the screen, and I'll take all of the stuff from your phone. And Dan goes, even the pictures? I'm like, wow, funny. Dan takes dick pictures. Great.
I mean, this is a children's show. This is a show that started off as a children's show.
Jesus. But yeah.
This isn't Torchwood. Actually, Torchwood wouldn't even do that. They'd literally just show all of the new pictures, wouldn't they?
But then we'll cut back to as we go on. We talked about before, Dan is found by the Sontarans because the general dude infiltrated their communications and sent the Sontarans to them. Dan stopped by like 5 Sontarans, and Dan's like, well, your guy told me I could be in here. We then cut back to what's it called? Yaz, Vinder, and AZURE, and all these people. This is where they talk about like, I know who you are, Yasmin Khan. I know everything about you, Yasmin Khan. I can see things in a flat structure. That's where this part happens. We already established this bit. Then we move on to the bit. We come back, and the Doctor is on the battlefield. The guys are getting murdered. The Doctor's with Mary Seacole. And we see the general dude get shot, I think, but he's not dead. He's not dead. Then we cut back. No, that was before. Sorry, no, that was before with the ship. Sorry, no. I lost my track. Sorry, that was before all of this. My mistake. No, when we do cut back, we cut back to Dan in the ship, and he's about to get killed. They're about to assassinate. They're about to murder him, like he's like they saw earlier on before with the other people. Good use of calling back to something we've been established already before. That was actually pretty decent. But then Chewie comes through the door, Carvanista, and kills 5 Sontarans easily. Because Sontarans...
It is kind of convenient that he knew to be there at that time. Like,
well, because there's a stamp.
He's there to save Dan because like Dan's his human, but like, how does he know Dan? Well, no,
they established later on that like he also hacked into communications and heard them. That's how he knew Dan was there.
Even so,
but why would he?
It is very convenient.
It is very convenient because they're like, oh, we really want him to feel like Dan's gonna die in the second episode, but no, we need someone to save him. What about Wookiee?
He wasn't any danger at all, really.
Well, talk about.
I just didn't think about it.
No one did. Anyways, we move on. We are now in the moment where the Doctor is doing the Sontaran plan, telling them how we're gonna defeat the Sontarans, because the guy came back from the battlefield and was like, yeah, no, we lost. We didn't take down one Sontaran. I'm an idiot. Doctor, help me defeat these people. And I said, we're gonna do it this way. We realized that the Sontaran...
I did think it was a bit sort of stereotypical. Not even stereotypical. I don't even know what the word is. That they didn't kill any Sontarans. Like, you think they kill a few of them, because that's just how battles work. Like, unless they're, completely inept and not an army at all. Like, they know how to wield a weapon. They know how to kill people. Like, wouldn't there just be like one or two?
This is the same Doctor who helped UNIT find out about the Accord Line signal, so they can make silver bullets. Was it instead of copper bullets? So it doesn't expand in the barrel anymore. But this is the same Doctor who did that. So I'm going, huh?
Which episode was that?
Sontaran stratagem.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, we're gonna help. So that's the same Doctor who helped UNIT kill Sontarans. The Doctor's like, no, we're gonna do this peacefully. Okay.
I did think the Doctor needs to pull out an anti-war speech like the one from the Zygon inversion.
It's a skill one to Kate. When I close my eyes, I just love the way
more streams than it's ever possible to count.
You don't know war. We talked about this last time.
Like, she should have said that to the war general. Like, you don't understand.
Should have literally said the line. You don't know war.
Did she actually say that?
No, she should have said that line. She should have.
Oh, she should have.
You don't know war. And I'd be like, oh, call back to Baldy.
Mm.
But no.
But I think you could only have that line on its own if she was a man. Like, if the Doctor was a man right now. I think she needed to sort of explain. If you're going to do that, she would need to explain, like, her actual experience in a war to the man, to show, like, she has experience. Like, even just to say, when I close my eyes, I hear more screams than it's ever possible to count. Like, just that would do, and he'd understand. Right, she knows more than I do. If you're going to go down that way,
I get what you said, because Jodie doesn't have the wisdom the other Doctors have had, or the agedness the other Doctors have had. I don't feel like she does. Like, I feel like Jodie's she feels like she's a teenager, whereas Capaldi's that is a guy who's seen shit. He's seen a lot of shit and knows. Like, Capaldi could walk into a room and go, I know. Like I could be like, my favorite thing is hamburgers, and Capaldi could walk in and go, hamburgers are the worst, and I'll go, yeah, no, they are. This guy knows. Yeah. I think, you're right. This guy knows what he's talking about. I think hamburgers are the worst. It's he has that power. Whereas Jodie, when hamburgers are the worst, I would go like, okay, I'm gonna continue eating my hamburger now. Thanks. It's like
hamburgers are the worst. Never eat them.
So we move on. They've done the whole Sontaran thing. They established that the fact that Sontarans need to charge up their suits, or they're not able to feed, because what they breathe is different on Sontar than it is on Earth. So they have their suit change.
That's Russia.
Jesus, what they have on their suit changes what they feed or what they use to breathe, and they need to recharge on their ship all the time to be able to rebreathe. And then the idea, the Doctor's like, we're just gonna cut that from them. And then this is one awkward scene when and then the general guy's like, my suit's not able to filter my ear. I'm like, Jesus, that's so on the nose, on the nose. And then we're like, yeah, they're all leaving because they can't breathe anymore. We gotta go back. Yeah, whoa, we did it, Doctor. We did it. But dun dun dun, it's Calvinista and Dan with their ship. They fly in and right into the Sontaran bay in Liverpool. They had a really, really awkward shot of Dan and Carvisa jumping out of the Sontaran ship, which was just 2 PNGs, and then just went down. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, if you look at the scale of them compared to the Sontaran ship, they are the size of a building. Like, it was bad.
Yeah. The thing is, the shot started off really well.
It looked really good.
Is that CGI, or did they actually like somehow build this ship and put it in the docks? Like it looked that real.
It looked
and then
good.
you just got these 2 PNGs like coming out of nowhere.
Like, I'm really mad at that because they even had like the focus change on the ship. It looked really fucking good. And then you see these 2 PNGs.
Good. I didn't think that did look good.
I like the shot. I like the shot. I like
Better than the other one, but it wasn't. I think it could have been a lot better.
It just looked. Oh, I'm gonna message you this, Chris, because it's the worst thing you've ever seen. That shot is awful. But also we realized that the shot from the trailer where it's Dan going down the little tube is Dan going down the chute pipe in a Sontaran ship. Yeah, apparently, I thought it was gonna be something cooler than that.
And it was that just for the joke, I think, because it didn't look like it was for anything. They just jumped down from like they clearly went in a toilet or anything. Like they just jumped in, and then there wasn't anything in there until he said, "Oh, what was that in there?"
So then we go back to Dickhead.
Oh, and that whole I'm fine with Jan like screaming, but why did Carbonista have to like go yee wee going down the pipe?
I don't know. I don't know, Chris. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm really tired of this. Doctor Who is dead. But I was like, yeah. We then cut back to that whole thing happens, that they crash into the thing, and the doctor's like, yeah, they're leaving, we won, but no, Army General has to be an asshole again and goes, no, it's not over, lights a fire, a trail of oil goes to the ship and somehow blows the whole thing up. How?
It's different technology. You can't just blow it up the normal way.
How did he blow up like that? Anyways, he blew it all up, and the doctor's like, I'm going to call back to series 2 of Doctor Who, and I'm going to tell you, like, you're Harriet Jones. They were leaving, and you shot them down. They were leaving. You didn't have to do that. They were leaving. This is bad.
British Empire.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, General. Goes up to Mary Seacole. Doesn't he look a bit old? Oh no! Not again! No! She's done it again. The topple of the British Army.
This is the British Empire, Britain at the might of its power. I will not let this stand.
Doesn't he look a bit old? Gets fired from the British Army. Loses. That would have been funny. That would have been funny to me.
Yeah. We should just do that. We should just like write and make these like really like just for YouTube. Like they make these like really sort of memey episodes where we just call back to certain things and we just have entire scenes
just
ripped from other
YTPs
episodes.
of Doctor Who.
Yeah, just YTP them.
Like, yeah, well, that's actually a good idea. And then I get copyrighted by the BBC.
Storylines out of them, though.
Copyright. Have you ever seen what's it called? Dragon Ball Abridged. You probably haven't, but it's like a show where they use the footage from Dragon Ball and they make like their own storyline and they voice act it and that stuff. It's pretty cool. But like,
there's this guy who. Have you finished about the Dragon Ball thing?
Yes.
Yeah. There's this guy called J. Clayton, 1994, and he makes these YTPs of the Harry Potter films. But what he does, especially more recently, he does like for example, one of them was all about like he took out Voldemort from all of the films and he replaced him with Dumbledore as the villain, and he just made this whole elaborate storyline out of it, and like it was so well done. And that's the kind of thing that I think we could try and do.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Don't take our plan, guys. Who's listening to the podcast? I will hurt you. But yeah. And this is where the episode is going to its end. it's going to just end because the Doctor's like, I'm gonna go save my friend because Yaz is gone. She just find Dan and she's like, Dan, do you want to come with me to TARDIS? This is where I'm like, good. They've changed. This is where I realized that they've actually changed Jodie's character. Even though it's not really, you're not seeing the arc, but her character is different than she was in series 11. Because in series 11, there was specifically a scene where she was too embarrassed, too socially awkward to ask people, "Can you join me in the TARDIS?" And that is not a Doctor Who. That's not a characteristic of the Doctor. The Doctor's a confident person. Well, the Doctor's like, bro, if you don't, you either come with me or don't. I don't care. The Doctor was like, "Hey, Dan, you want to come with me?" That was it. And I was like, "Yeah, cool." The Doctor's got their confidence back. I was like,
I really like that scene. Like, admittedly, Chibnall's done it before. Like you said, that scene from Arachnids in the UK. But I like that Chibnall's doing like multiple stories with companions before asking them to join the TARDIS. Like normally, it's like one episode, and then at the end, the Doctor's like, "Do you want to come with me?" Like I feel like these new characters that Chibnall's written have gone through so much already. Like, like, I mean, especially like this series, like so much has happened with Dan in his life.
It's been like an hour for Dan, and like he's like nearly died like 15 times. It's like
and like I mean, admittedly, it is still like one adventure technically, but he's gone through so much. And it feels much more sort of. I don't know. I just like the how much more like compare it to Planet of the Dead, where with the cat burglar woman and like they just go to the desert for a bit, and then the Doctor's like, "Oh, we'd have been the perfect team."
But you're a criminal.
Like, pardon?
I really hate that because just like Doctor's like, we'll be a perfect team, but you've stolen stuff. You literally stole your time machine.
Yeah,
you're a hypocrite.
But like I just love that in comparison, Dan's gone through so much, and then also like Yaz, Graham, and Ryan went through so much as well. They'd already been through like multiple adventures, some of them off screen, before being asked to join the Doctor. So I think I actually quite like that.
I do agree. But yeah, we go back in the TARDIS. Dan joins the Doctor in the TARDIS. The Doctor's like, "Why is the TARDIS being so weird?" The TARDIS is like, "What's going on? TARDIS, why are you so hurt?" Doctor goes to pull the dematerialization lever, but the dematerialization lever pulls itself. And the Doctor's like, "We're being pulled somewhere." And it's revealed that they're pulled into the place that all the other people have been, with the little floating cube, the floating triangles. Standing on the opposite side of them as they exit the TARDIS is AZURE, and she's like, "Follow us." Doctor follows them, and then it meets AZURE, the Doctor, Dan, all meet with AZURE and Swarm. The Doctor's like, "I don't know what this place is," and he's like, "You should know what this place is. You should, Doctor." And the Doctor's like, "Bro, why the fuck should I care?" And she's like, "Well, we needed to repair this place, and we are. And we need, and you're gonna care because something that we have, that's something that you love, we have." And it's revealed in the end of the episode that replacing the like one of the two of the pillar things is Yaz and Vinda.
I don't think they're replacing them. I think there weren't actually ones on those spots.
No, they are. They were on. I think they were the ones. Let me actually. I've read the episode here. I think they were the ones replacing the ones on the spots. I can have the subtitles up as well.
Spots. Anyway, but what I didn't like was that when the Doctor was in the TARDIS, it's like,
oh no, you're right. It wasn't replacing the ones. It was just new ones. The ones are empty.
That Dan was like, "Oh, like mentioned like Dan mentioned like the TARDIS, so it's even weirder than before." And I was like, "Yeah, that wasn't there 5 minutes ago." But we didn't actually see the TARDIS 5 minutes ago. Like it would have been good to see like some of that new stuff there, but not all of it, to show like how quick it's spreading, like seeing instead of telling it. And then what I also don't like is that I think the bit where the dematerialization lever pulls itself is like it's just like a direct copy from Good Doctor's Wife, where the TARDIS like pilots itself for a quick second. But I think in this case, what we should have seen was like some of the other buttons and levers being pulled. like separately from the Doctor, and then the dematerialization lever. Like just like a second or two of just a few buttons going up and down, a few levers being pulled, and then the dematerialization one. Because just the dematerial, like how would you like what are all these buttons for if the only important thing is that one lever?
Well, I think I like about Matt Smith and David Tennant is I actually somehow knew like what some of the stuff did.
Yeah,
like the zigzag plotter kind of like was the position of the TARDIS, in space. You had the spinny thing, the Alpha accelerator, which spins to show the TARDIS spinning, like in space. Like actually, like if I don't know anything about Jodie's TARDIS at all.
I don't know. Like it's
The
dematerialization lever, and then the
cookie dispenser,
the custard cream thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only two things I know. But yeah, they meet with Swarm and AZURE, and they're like, we are going to put the whole stream of time into Yaz because fuck you, Doctor. And this is also revealing the idea that yes, these people on these pillars were basically keeping the timeline from branching infinitely. Which is, I assume, it would have made sense to me is if this didn't happen before Hartnell, because it would have been cool. The idea that like once the Time Lords died out, someone needed to replace the Time Lords, and these people brought it upon themselves to replace the Time Lords. It would have been like, oh, that makes sense, and that's why like you don't have infinite paradoxes upon infinite paradoxes because the Doctor's just messing with time. These guys are making sure the time still flows. Right.
Yeah, but that was the whole point of the Time Lords in the first place, and like that was set up expertly by Russell in like series 1 and 2 and 3, with this whole idea like, oh yeah, the Time Lords used to deal with all this stuff, but they're gone now. Like we had that all the time with David Tennant, like the episode where he goes to Pete's world. At the start, he's like, oh, these things used to be like, they used to be you used to like travel through really easily because the Time Lords kept track of it. Like, it signals just retconned everything.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I'm not liking this episode a lot. But it's not. But again, there's some things I do like what they did. I really like this cliffhanger, but it's also ruined, as I'll explain. And I thought what the cliffhanger is. They're saying at the count of 3 and a click of his fingers, Swarm is going to fill Yaz with the time stream. Just all the time, and I will burn her body apart. The Doctor goes, don't do it. They count down to 3, and the last thing you hear is a click of his fingers.
Yeah. That was weird, because it was like, you had the sting, and then the click.
Yeah.
And then that was so weird, because like that's never happened before, as far as I'm aware. Like, the sting is always the last thing we hear. Like, there's usually a reaction shot while the sting is playing. Like, that was just strange.
So yeah, that happens, and then we roll the credits, and that's the end of the episode. But then the next episode it reveals that Yaz is not dead, and Vinder's not dead, and the whole cliffhanger is useless. Yeah, I give this a 6 out of 10, just like last episode. The main reason I give it a 6 out of 10 is because I feel the pacing is better than the last episode, a lot better than last episode. The music is better than last episode. The visuals better, but there were some iffy parts. And I like I like some of the writing of the characters, but not the plot. I hate the plot. The plot was awful. So I think in balancing all of them out, it's still 6 out of 10. It's not the best, not the worst, but Chris has a completely different number. Chris, what's your end?
Last week it was 4 out of 10. This week it's 0 out of 10. I'm genuinely serious. It could have been slightly better written. There was a lot of running up and down the corridors and singing monsters. She's a bit, Julie's a bit theatrical at the moment, but I'm just kidding. That's what Signal said on there. No, I feel like this episode was the plot was worse. The writing was worse. Like the actual like the dialogue was worse, and like the way it was each scene went from one to the other was worse. Actually, no, scene transitions were mostly alright compared to last episode. Some of the last episode had
last episode was fucking dropped. I might actually just put last episode down to 5 because it was I rewatched it and it was dog shit. But let me continue what you're saying.
The music was actually like I noticed that it was good, but I also noticed that it was a lot like very similar to other pieces of music. So, I don't really know quite what it is, but I just hate this episode with an absolute passion because like
I think
there's something wrong with it. There's something just completely wrong with it. It's not Doctor Who anymore.
It could have been bigger. It's not. It feels it wasn't needed at all.
No.
Like the cliffhanger of the last episode, like literally all this episode could have been was the Doctor was transported, I don't know, back to her TARDIS while Yaz was transported to the new place, and it was Swarm and AZURE. They capture Yaz, the Doctor finds Yaz, and they could have done all of that in 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, not even 20 minutes. That's like 5 minutes.
Like they didn't need all the other stuff. And people may say like, yeah, that's a TV show. You don't need everything. But when you have 6 episodes this series, everything needs to have a reason. You can't have a filler episode. Why is there a filler episode?
Then again, there was I remember hearing that there was a book that was released back in like February or something, and they said it was like a book about Captain Jack, and they said that these things, some of these things from the book relate to episode 2 of Flux. So, well, series 13 would have said. So maybe like he would have been like a big part of it, and like they had to like just pad out everything when he was like when they could no longer use him.
Because he was cancelled.
So, but even so, like it's just
it's not.
It's 10 minutes.
It's literal a filler episode. The last episode, I talked about how I was bored whenever we went back in time, because that stuff bored the crap out of me. This episode, I was bored whenever I did not see a Sontaran. No, I was bored whenever it wasn't the scene with Vinda and Yaz. Everything else I didn't care for. Sontarans, I was like, they look cool, but what the I don't give a shit. Down with a pan, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, who is AZURE and Swarm? Why should I care about these guys? They're actually I'm actually interested in this thing. Who the fuck are they? Why do they know so much? That should be the hook of this series, but the hook is still like it's still like the Doctor's doing stuff with companions, and like it should honestly be like example the last series with the Master, and it's like the Master is here doing the Master stuff, and the Doctor's just walking into it, and I'm like I like that. Because it shows that like the Master doesn't give a shit about the Doctor. The Master's doing whatever he wants to do. The Doctor's just there. This series, it literally should be AZURE and Swarm doing whatever the fuck they want to do, and the Doctor just bumping and going, "Oh,
yeah,
what the fuck is this?" And just stop and then going, "No, you cannot stop this because we are blah 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 blah." But no,
with this, sorry, go on.
It's fine. I'm just mad because I honestly feel like they're gonna do the whole we're gonna reveal everything in the 15-minute info dump at the last episode.
Yeah. With this episode, if I wasn't bored, I was either deeply upset or shouting or screaming. Like my emotions just went, especially in the first 10 minutes. My emotions were just all over the place. Like we didn't really touch that much onto it. We just sort of said it generally, but the exposition at the start of the episode was so on the nose.
It was so.
It just ruined it for me. Like,
they literally came in and said, "We're gonna recap everything you saw last episode and everything you saw in the previously on for 10 minutes." Why? I saw it. Just go. Like you could have just started them going, "Where are we, Doctor?" The Doctor could have scanned Sonic Screwdriver. We're in 19 or what? Oh, not 90, but whatever time we're like. We're in this timeline, and then Yaz could say, "I'm not an agent." Go. Isn't this when the Crimean War happened or something like that? Like, yeah, that's true. And then, like, I remember the Crimean War. There was little stuff of like do you know Mary Seacole? And then you hear Mary Seacole in the background going, "Someone say my name." It's like, Mary Seacole. That could have been simple setup.
I mean, it could have been like in Rosa, because like remember in Rosa, Ryan kept talking about, I learned about Rosa Parks at school. She was the first one to drive a bus.
Literally, like that.
Yaz is the exact same age as Ryan. They were in the same class in primary school. Like, can't you
And
have just
Yaz,
said, "Oh yeah, I remember learning about
and
Mary Seacole."
Yaz said in that episode, like, how do you not know this? Like, Yaz knows history. She's like, Ryan, why are you an idiot? This is simple. So Yaz having an understanding of who Mary Seacole is and the Crimean War would make sense. She'll be like, oh, I know who that is. And Dan would be like, and then you can have Dan be like, what do you mean back in time? Because he doesn't know that the TARDIS travels in time.
Wait, I've just realised something. In the last 3 years, Yaz has said that they're the same age, because that's just how the show works. We are now older than Yaz when we were younger than her before. Because I remember thinking at the time with Rosa, oh yeah, I forget that they're like 20, they're like 19, so they're like, they would have been in primary school back in like 2010 or something. And now I'm thinking, wait, yeah, they're younger than us now because they're the same age.
It's crazy because like Yaz is. Yaz has the possibility to be a great companion. She could have the possibility to be like the Martha Jones, right? Like underrated. But she's just like, did you see the Doctor Who channel upload 40 minutes of like 40 amazing Yasmin Khan moments, and it's just Yaz standing in a scene. Like the first,
did they actually do that?
They did. You can watch it, and like the first clip they have is from Woman Who Fell to Earth, where it's just Yaz standing as the Doctor does exposition. Like, wow, that's a great Yaz moment. Huh? Yaz has no moment. She's not a character. She's just there. Yeah. Like, she got character last episode and then lost all the character this episode because she wants to be like the Doctor. Like, oh jeez. Anyways,
if they want to actually make her feel like a great character like that, then why don't they actually try and write her like that? Like, wouldn't you like write, even if it was like really, really bad, wouldn't you try and write her like that? Because when I watch her, I just get bored.
Jenny's not going to be like that. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, thank you all for watching the Dr. Y podcast. I would like to say that we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts, and we are also on Google Podcasts. Okay, next episode is called Once Upon Time. Oh, also forgot to say, the Halloween Apocalypse got 7.1 million views in the UK, which is not bad. Oh. Not bad.
I thought you said our episode of the podcast.
Oh. This is like, oh my god.
You got more views from the episode?
Jesus. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye, Chris. Yeah. Bye, Chris.
Bye. He did it.